is up, y'all? It's me, Tasha C, and welcome to the Tasha C Show podcast. Hugs and love to my podcast and YouTube fam. I strongly recommend, if you don't mind, that you can follow me, which was on YouTube. It's the Tasha C TV. And if you're looking for my podcast, it should be in the description. And look, but like I said, hugs and love to people who gave me support and from my YouTube and our podcast fam. And hugs and love to people in the future. And everybody stay safe, if you know what I mean. So anyway, y'all, I'm not going to go into my long introduction. I'm a little bit late. It's 10/14, March the 31st, the last day of March. I was going to go ahead about that, say April. Okay, March 31st, 2020, the last official day of Women History Month. So since that is going to be, I think I'm just going to read nothing but one or two articles, about 2 or 3 articles that have to do with women. But that's not going to stop me from talking about quote unquote women history. Just like, Black History Month passed in February, and I still talk about Black history. I'm trying to, see how long this will go. So anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm prepared, but you give me a second because I am not on the correct tabs. Now, what made me interested to talk about these particular persons is, now I talked about when this premiered on March the 20th weekend, along with The Banker, on streaming services, and also which is still a mini series that's still going. Little fires everywhere. I was gonna say little houses everywhere. Uncorked, which came last weekend. It's supposed to be, I think Coffee and Kareem was supposed to be this particular Friday. There's another movie that's coming out. Now the thing is that I didn't watch yet the series, the mini series about Inspired but Self-Made, which I didn't know was based on the book. So I'm waiting to get that book as well. The self-made book based from Madam C.J. Walker's great-granddaughter, I think. And the reason why I am bringing up, and it was interesting at least talking about this article, including I think I talked about the last queen on the list the other day. But the reason why I wanted to talk about this was actually due to the fact that, I have watched, which is a phenomenal, another YouTube channel called For Harriet, which actually is I think it's based on for Harriet Tubman, but the lady who runs the channel is Kim, and she is a human dictionary. She has a lot of information and it's interesting, her perspective on certain topics, and she actually talked about, about recently her recent video about actually the flaws, and that she's not the first person talked about the flaws and actually not the accuracy about the real true story about C.J. Walker and Madam C.J. Walker and other people that were also in the story. Also watched Layla Lynn as well, her channel. That's because, but she gives a lot of information. She also created a video that talked about the non-accurate information and the flaws in the story, or made up material, fictional, the fiction in these events instead of being the facts. So, like I said, I haven't watched it yet, but I wanted to give a little information about Madam C.J. Walker, because actually the story, like I said, is inspired by, but not exactly about a biotic or whatever. I think it was also said about they were saying about the story, even though it was still a great movie. Dolomite is my name. There star Eddie Murphy, Linnell, and Kenny. I get their names mixed up, but I mean a lot of stars. Okay, but the thing is they said, and I didn't know till when the movie came out, that actually Rudy Moore actually also said had one child, which was a daughter, and it was one of those things. Well, why was I not included in the input in the thing? So anyway, let's get on to the first thing. I'm just going to Wikipedia, then I'm going to read another article. And I may go to another because remember I told y'all, if y'all been listening, I actually also read about where there were other female female kings as well, female African pharaohs. So it depends how I feel over it. Okay, let me stop rambling because already 5 minutes went past by. Okay, here's a little bit of Madam C.J. Walker. Madam C.J. Walker, born Sarah Bree Love, was born December 23rd, 1867, and passed away on May 25th, 1990. Was an American entrepreneur, theologist, then I don't know. Y'all know I'll be chopping up words. And political and social activist. She was recorded as the first female self-made millionaire in America in the Guinness Book of World Records. Multiple sources mention that although other women might have been the first, the wealth is not as well documented. Okay. Yeah, that's where they were saying like Aaliyah Walker. I think she had one child, and also she has the same exact name. Aaliyah Bundles' great granddaughter is the one I think that made that book. Okay, Walker made her fortune by developing, marketing a line of cosmetics and hair care products for black women through the business she founded, Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company. She became known as through her philanthropy and activism. She made financial donations to numerous organizations and became a patron of the art. Villa of Walker's lavish estate in Ivory, New York, served as a social gathering place for the African American community. At the time of her death, she was considered the wealthiest African American businesswoman and the wealthiest self-made black woman in America. Her name came as a result of her third husband, Charles Joseph Walker, who died in 1926. Okay. Ooh. All right, there's a lot of information here. I clicked on that. Okay, you know what? That's just giving a little information. Y'all can look for yourself. But, okay, y'all know we still got landline to you, so. So anyway, I'm going to actually read an article. Now, actually, one of the people that also did hair care lines as well, which I honestly did not know until about this film and watching such videos as lately, and for Harriet, the YouTube channel, Kim's channel, which is named for Harriet, about Annie Malone. I only occasionally have only heard about Madam C.J. Walker. And, this is I just put Anne Malone and Madam C.J. Walker because this is an educated channel, but education website. But I'm trying to see, like, is macahcs.sisedu, and let's go ahead. Okay. They don't have a author. Maybe the author is at the bottom of this article. But this is information about how you more so just hear about Madam C.J. Walker, but not about Annie Malone. But let's go ahead. Annie Malone and Madam C.J. Walker, pioneers of the African American beauty industry. Annie Terminal Malone and Madam C.J. Walker were pioneers of the African American beauty industry and groundbreaking entrepreneurs. Each woman developed hair care and beauty products, created beauty school, and launched highly successful businesses that employ hundreds of African Americans, mainly women. Marie Turnbull Malone. Annie Malone was born in 1869 in Minneapolis, Illinois, to formerly enslaved parents and orphaned at a young age. From an early age, Malone understood that for African American women, appearance and grooming represented more than their personal style. It could also indicate a woman's class and social standing. She realized that improving hair health could also have positive effects on the lives of African Americans. This motivation, along with her early passion for styling her sister's hair, inspired Malone to develop products that help women adapt to the society that judged them based on how they met the American standard of beauty, quote, quote, which excluded natural appearance of most African Americans. Malone not only faced the challenges of being a black woman in a segregated society, but a businesswoman in a sexist society. Undeterred, she began experimenting with chemistry and established a successful business after developing a line of products that were advised to help improve scalp health and promote hair growth. Some of these products included scalp preparations and her famous cocoa hair grower. After early success in Illinois, she moved to Missouri in 1902 and founded Pearl College Company. Pearl College was founded as a cosmetic school and named after the Pearl Society, a secret organization in West Africa that amplified physicality and spirituality. Not only did Pearl College act as a training center for literature and style, black hair, but it was also a significant source of employment for African Americans, especially women. Her poro ages ranges from ages 16 to 80. Were trained to sell her custom products to use the poro system of scalping hair nourishing. Over the company's lifespan, there were 10,000s of women and men that sold poro products around the world. The poro products included cold cream, lipstick, face powders, and a variety of shades like poro brown, white, and browns of multiple hues. Among the list of poro hair preparations available for purchase were hair grower, special hair grower, and tether relief. Poro College also survived a meeting place for African Americans and major organizations such as the National Negro Business League to meet once they were denied access to most public spaces. During the 1920s, Anna Malone's poro brand soared, increasing the value of her company, making her one of the most wealthiest African-American women. With her newfound fortune, Monroe donated large sums of money to efforts around the St. Louis area and beyond institutions such as Howard University. However, by the end of the decade, Poro Company fell upon difficult times due to the divorce settlement and a number of lawsuits and the hardships of the Great Depression. Although her business survived, it was reduced to a fraction of its original size. Madam C.J. Walker, born Sir Freela, 1867. Like Malone, Madam C.J. Walker was also the daughter of formerly enslaved parents and orphaned at a young age. During the early part of her life, Walker lived in the Delta, Louisiana, before moving to Vicksburg, Mississippi, following the death of her parents. Fleeing the economical, racial, and familiar hardships presented in Vicksburg, she moved to St. Louis. It was there where Walker found work as a laundress. Okay, this is a quote from her. I had to make my own living and my own opportunity, but I made it. I didn't sit down and wait for opportunities to come. Get up and make them. Walker struggled with hair issues of her own and experimented with solutions. Walker enrolled at Monroe's College and later became a Poro's agent. Now, spoiler alert. Now, I have not seen all of the series yet. I've seen parts of the first episode of the mirror series of the self-made C.J. Walker story, and they made, and excuse my language, but they made Annie to be somewhat of rhymes with witch. I was going to say the cuss word, but I'll leave that alone. And she made it seem like as if she was, I think I'm better than. And it was kind of like an exchange where she was getting this product and helped C.J. Walker do the product, and Madam C.J. Walker did her laundry and stuff like that. But it wasn't said that she went to her school or anything. Just make like she came to the door one day when her present husband left her when she was having hair loss. Okay, but let's continue. That's what I'm saying is you're watching it more so for entertainment, not the facts. Okay, not this. I'm not trying to sit here and say don't watch it or nothing. I'm just letting you know. Okay, it's some falsified information. Okay. All right. Given Walker's personal hair structures and the training she received in Poro's College, she was inspired to begin considering making and selling her own products. After moving to dinner to sell Poro products, she changed her name to Madam C.J. Walker and started developing her own hair line of hair products. According to her autobiography, On Her Own, The Life and Times of Madam C.J. Walker, Walker received the formula for her own hair grower through a dream. The other hair products included glycerine and pressing oil and the wonderful hair grower. Among other beauty supplies like creams and cosmetics, the most popular product was the Walker's Wonderful Hair Grower, which consists of petroleum, coconut oil, beeswax, copper sulfate, carbonic acid, polypropylene sulfate, and perfume. In 1908, Madam C.J. Walker relocated to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and opened a factory and hair school called Layla College. Or Layla College, I don't know. At Layla's College, she taught women to become hair culturists. Through the vast growth and success of Walker's beauty empire, she became America's first recognized and self-made millionaire. Both Annie Monroe and Emma C.J. Walker succeeded in developing specialized hair care and beauty products for African Americans. More impressive, each was pioneering entrepreneurs, creating highly successful companies, extraordinary accomplishments, given that they were black women competing in a segregated and highly sexist society. Oh, this is Smithsonian National Museum of African American Culture. Oh, that's where I found it. Oh, I need to probably save this page. Maybe they got some more information that I can look up. But I just wanted to talk about that real quick. Now, let's see here. Now, also, there has been a woman currently found, this is from CNN I'm about to talk about, that has became a human, came a new woman queen. I mean, here. Okay, this was updated on February 1st, 2013 on 4:59 a.m. by Isha Shea and Tony Corm CNN. The American secretary became king, a woman's journey to royalty. Okay. Alright. What are story highlights? Okay, let's just go to the story. When Peggy Lee Bartos went to bed in summer night 2008, she was an ordinary administratress in a modest one-room condo outside Washington, D.C. But a few hours later, when a persistent ringing phone woke her up dead of the August night, the 55-year-old found out she was much more than simply a secretary. On the other end of the line was Bertha's cousin from Ottoman, a small fishing village on the coast of Ghana. Excited and humble, he congratulated her on being the new king of Almond. I said, listen, it's 4 o'clock in the morning in the U.S. I am very tired. Let me sleep, remembers Bartels. I thought he was trying to play. She would really play some games with me. But this was no time for games. The previous king of Almond, who was Barbara's uncle, who had just died. The villagers who remember Bartels from the time she visited with her mother had decided to anoint her as the new ruler. After the initial shock, Bartels decided to accept the kingship. Over the course of a few days, she went from being plain old Peggy Lee Bartels, who had worked nearly three decades at the Ghanaian embassy in the United States, to becoming King Peggy, the first female king of Almond, reigning over approximately 7,000 people. It never ever occurred to me that I'll be Ornament's king, says Bartels, who has been living in the United States since her early 20s. I realized that on this earth we all have a calling. We have to be ready to accept that, because helping my people has really helped me a lot to know that I can really touch their lives, she adds. I would really have regretted if I have not accepted this calling. Although she still works at the Ghanaian embassy, Bartels used all her holiday every year to spend a month in honor. The king is the traditional title of Artist ruler, and Bartels says she's happy to be called a king rather than queen because it means she can achieve more. Most of the time, the king is the one who has all the executive power to do things, while the queen is mostly in charge of the children's affairs and reporting to the king, she says. I really love this. King Peggy was born in Taraki, son of Ghana, in 1953. She studied in England before moving to the United States, where she became an American citizen in 1997. But after inheriting throne, Bartels has been living two very different lives in two very different continents. I wonder, maybe I could find an update of what she's doing now, considering circumstances. In Washington, her secretary duties include typing letters, answering the phones, and booking appointments. And her little apartment life is far removed from the luxuries of her royal roots. When I'm in the United States, I do everything by myself, she explains. I do my own laundry, do my cooking, I do my own driving, I do my own bed when I wake up in the morning. But back in Ghana, she stands out as a gold crown-wearing scepter holding king who lives in a refurbished palace. Of her residents usually dress her as Nana, an honorary title given to royalty, but also with women with grandchildren, and bow down when they see her. When I'm back at home, they see me as their king, and they want to pamper me, she says. They have to cook for me, they have to carry me around, and they have to protect me from people. They want to do everything for me, which I usually refuse. Sometimes I say to them, please don't bow. I just want them to be free and comfortable so that way we can really address issues. But beyond the bows, the royal attire, and the certain luxuries that come with her title, being a king in an impoverished place like Almond is all about dealing with the pressing needs of the community and improving the lives of the people, says Burris. To be a king in an African village or some places like that is not like European queens where everything is on a silver platter for them, she says. I have to really work hard to help my people. I have to give myself to people to better their lives. In the last few years, she's helped poor families pay school fees for their children and bought computers to classrooms. With the help of other Americans, she also has provided Army with his first ambulance, as well as access to clean running water. Her next priority says to bring state-of-the-art toilets to Army. And even when she's not in Ghana, her world duties do not stop. She wakes up 1 a.m. every morning to call Armin and to be informed about what's happening in the community. I talk to my regent. I talk to my elders. It says if there's something that I want to know, they tell me. If there's something that I want them to do, I tell them. Last year, King Peggy's real life fairy tale was documented in a book written by her and author Eleanor Herman. And now she says her amazing life journey for Secretary to King will be told in a film after Hollywood star Will Smith bought the rights to the book. So I wonder what to go make this to a film, because this was 2013. Reading this article has been documented, and this is 2020, and I know things gonna have to be freeze due to circumstances, if y'all know what I mean. But let me finish. Next year, God willing, we are going to have a movie out there, says King Peggy. Queen Latifah is going to play me, and I'm so happy to at least let the world know that a secretary can become a king and lead wisely and help people. That'll be dope if they're actually able to make that movie. Because like I said, on April the 11th, Queen Latifah won't be starring, at least, or anything in this movie. But her and Mary J. Blige and Missy Elliott are all going to have something to do with co-producing that, like I said, that movie based on the Clark sisters. Okay. Alright, y'all. I'm sorry I had 2 articles, but it was kind of later, and I'm going to go ahead and, let's see here, go and get off of here. Hugs and loves, everybody. God bless. Stay safe. Wash your hands, you know what I mean. 10 times, and make sure you don't just wash hands, wash everything else, you know what I mean. But anyway, I'm about to get off here. Hugs and loves, God bless, and I will see y'all in the next podcast. Take care.